With laymoon.com. Refresh your career with jobs, courses, and events.
Coming up, we are going to unearth the secrets to success with Mr. Jeffrey Rhodes, who is also known as Gold Figure. So stay with us. 1 minute. There's one thing you don't want to miss. Welcome back to Eye on Careers. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, and we are here with the world's #1 gold bullion trader, Jeffrey Rhodes, founder of Rhodes Precious Metals. He's the man. Jeffrey, welcome back to Eye on Careers.
Thanks, Shane. Over the show, I've gone from being one of the best to #1, so thank you.
The greatest.
The greatest. Well, no, not the greatest, but I'm pleased that I've done what I've done and got where I've got, and God is great.
It is some big wins. But the thing that I really liked when I was looking at your story, which I think a lot of people need to realize, is that your failures are your curses are your blessings in disguise. That failure is actually the stepping stone to success. That if you have been knocked down, if you're having a door slammed in your face, that you are actually doing the right thing, and you just need to keep on. The darkest hours before dawn, you just got to push that a little more. And so when you were in one of your first jobs, you had an idea for hedging, you proposed to the company, they slammed you down. And they booted the idea out the door, so you booted them. Tell us a little bit about that. That's a great story.
Yeah, back in 71, actually, 71, 72, working for the Bowalter Group, we used to get our contracts in about 3 months ahead of when we had to pay. So we knew 3 months beforehand when we needed to buy foreign exchange. And I studied foreign exchange and decided that it would be a great idea to actually lock in the cost today. I mean, so that you could hedge the cost of the foreign exchange today for 3 months ahead. I thought this was a terribly good idea in terms of cash flow. You know how much money it would cost you and so on, rather than having this, you just never knew what you would have to pay. So I put the proposal to my financial director. I put it first to the chief cashier, who said, go to the financial director, went to him with this idea, and I really put a lot of effort into it, and he looked at me as I was from a different planet and said, who do you think you are? You're simply an accounts clerk. And having these newfangled ideas of hedging is not for us, I'm afraid. He said, go away. And I was crestfallen, really. I thought this was just such a great idea. And I was crushed. And Mr. Richardson, the chief cashier, said, don't worry, let's go and have a cup of coffee. And it really was very much a low point. Then about 5 years later, the world had moved on.
But you had quit. You quit. That's when you made your decision.
Yeah,
right?
that was the time.
And this is where some other people may have said, okay, and just let it go. But you had the courage of your convictions. You have followed your heart. Like you said, trust your instincts.
I did, yeah. And the banks I used to buy foreign exchange from for these imports of wood pulp, I contacted them and said, look, I like foreign exchange. Can you give me a job, please? And one of them did, Sammy Montague, and then I moved on. I went from foreign exchange into precious metals, and I actually become the chief precious metals trader at Sammy Montague. And then we had one of our clients came in, and they were asking for increased limits to do forwards and options, derivatives. Okay, and they came in, and my counterpart, the chief dealer from the client, and the new financial director. Guess what? I won't mention his name, but he walked in, and we were about 20 minutes into the meeting. I kept looking at him. I said, "You don't know me, do you?" He said, No, I don't. I said, you just think back 4 or 5 years and a conversation we had about forward foreign exchange, and he said,
"You're like, hello."
He went, oh my Lord. He was so embarrassed. And anyway, I said, look, fine. And at the end of that meeting, we went out, and I said to my management, no way, you're not going to give lines to these guys. They don't have a clue.
No chance for him. We have another caller here. I think, is this Ahmed?
It is on behalf of Ahmed. This is William.
William. Hi, how are you?
Hello, good to speak to you. How are you this evening?
Fantastic. I believe
you
have a question for Jeffrey or myself?
I do, yeah, absolutely. I mean, given the fact that obviously the price of gold has, seen a lot of volatility over the last few months or years, I suppose, how do you think that Dubai's increasing involvement within the gold trade is going to affect global gold prices in the years to come? I mean, do you think Dubai's involvement within gold trade is going to affect the price of gold in the future?
So basically, how is Dubai's role going to affect the global gold price,
exactly.
and what's the future outlook for that?
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think you have to look at Dubai as a logistics hub, and it's not really going to have an influence on the underlying price. The price of gold is driven by investment demand. Physical demand for the hard metal, but also investment demand, and that's the key driver. And so I don't really see Dubai playing a role in that. Where Dubai comes in, and my business plan has always been the same, it's a map of the world. And if you look at the real world of gold for producers and consumers, and you pick the epicenter of that real world of gold, you have Dubai. And I think Emirates Airlines got it right when they built their global network. And Emirates Airlines and Dubai as a gold hub are actually sort of crucial kind of partners in that. So I don't really think Dubai will drive the price of gold, but certainly it will drive the increase in global gold trade. And so Dubai at the heart of what I would consider the real world of gold. And so that's the most important aspect in terms of Dubai and gold.
I totally agree. And what do you think the effect would be then on the sort of the former sort of centres of gold trading? And do you take, for example, centres like London? Do you think there'll be any kind of residual effect of those markets?
Well, London is the home of bullion banking. I referred to this earlier. And while the centre of the world, and I don't think anything
for now.
Yeah, look, I don't think that's not going to change. What I'd like to see, I'd like to see equally strong markets across the globe. London, Dubai, New York, Singapore, and I think all of the centres can work well together. They can all interact. So I don't see London as being a former kind of hub. It's certainly the hub today for bullion banking, and I think will continue to do so. What's interesting for me is that we have a $70 billion industry in Dubai without bullion banking. Just how big could it be if the banks embrace bullion?
William, thank you so much for your question. Thank you for calling for Ion Careers, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, William.
We are now going to be having the Career Clinic section where we have Mrs. Lesia Karamarenko, who is looking for her next opportunity here in Dubai, and one of the leading gold bullion traders in the world is going to stick with us to give a little bit of advice. This is great because this is live. This is a case study. Someone's really we're going to help someone in less than 17 minutes find that next job. So stay with us.